The awakening. In the vast expanse of space, Earth had long believed itself to be alone. That illusion shattered on a quiet Tuesday morning when Dr. Ilara Vance, lead researcher at the Arecibo Observatory, noticed an anomaly in the data streaming across her holographic display. "This can't be right," she muttered, her fingers dancing over the interface, bringing up additional readings from deep space telescopes and radio arrays across the globe. The anomaly persisted, a series of regular pulses, too precise to be natural, emanating from a point near the outer edge of the solar system. Ilara's heart raced as she initiated the first contact protocols that had been gathering dust for decades. Within hours, the highest levels of government were alerted, and a cloak of secrecy descended upon the observatory. Admiral John Hawthorne stood before the hastily assembled panel of world leaders, his weathered face grave as he delivered the news that would change the course of human history. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are not alone, and we are not safe," he began, his voice steady despite the weight of his words. "The signals we've intercepted are not benign. Our top cryptographers have decrypted portions of the transmissions, and they paint a grim picture. An alien alliance known as the Concordiat is planning an invasion of Earth, viewing us as a primitive species ripe for conquest or colonization." Murmurs of disbelief and fear rippled through the room. The Chinese premier leaned forward, her eyes narrow. "How can you be certain of their intentions, Admiral?" Hawthorne nodded to his aide, who projected a series of complex diagrams onto the main screen. "These are partial schematics of weapon systems and invasion strategies, gleaned from the transmissions. They underestimate us, believing our technological capabilities to be far behind their own. This, ladies and gentlemen, may be our only advantage." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. It was the president of the African Union who spoke next, her voice filled with quiet determination. "What do you propose, Admiral?" A hint of a smile played at the corners of Hawthorne's mouth. "We have an opportunity here, a chance to prepare, to build up our defenses in secret. The Concordiat believes they're dealing with a pre-spaceflight civilization. Let's use that misconception against them." Over the next several months, the world changed behind a carefully constructed facade of normalcy. Deep beneath the surface of the moon, vast chambers were hollowed out to house shipyards and weapons factories. The brightest minds from every nation were quietly recruited, sworn to secrecy, and set to work on projects that pushed the boundaries of human innovation. Dr. Ilara Vance found herself at the heart of this clandestine effort, leading a team of scientists in the development of advanced propulsion systems. The work was exhilarating, fueled by a mix of fear and excitement that permeated the underground facilities. "We've done it," Ilara announced one day, her eyes shining with triumph as she presented the results to Admiral Hawthorne. "The gravity drive is operational. We can achieve faster-than-light travel." Hawthorne's usually stoic expression broke into a genuine smile. "Outstanding work, Doctor. This could be the key to our survival." As Earth's hidden fleet took shape in the lunar shipyards, a network of stealth satellites was deployed throughout the solar system, providing early warning of any approaching threats. The first test flights of humanity's new warships were conducted in the shadows of Saturn's rings, safely hidden from prying eyes. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant, Earth's first faster-than-light capable warship, marveling at the seamless integration of technologies that would have seemed like magic just a year ago. "All systems a go, Captain," her XO reported. "We're ready for our first jump." Maya took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. "Engage the gravity drive, Lieutenant. Let's see what this ship can do." The stars blurred around them as the Defiant leaped into FTL, carrying humanity's hopes and dreams into the unknown. Back on Earth, preparations of a different kind were underway. Retired Marine Colonel Victor Reyes oversaw the training of an elite force of soldiers, preparing them for the unique challenges of space combat and alien encounters. "You are the first line of defense for our entire species," Reyes barked at the assembled troops. "The enemy thinks we're primitive, helpless. When they come, we're going to show them just how wrong they are. As months turned into years, Earth's secret Armada grew, hidden in plain sight. Technological breakthroughs came at a dizzying pace, each one carefully concealed from the watchful eyes of the Concordiat's scout ships that occasionally probed the outer reaches of the solar system. Admiral Hawthorne stood in the Lunar Command Center, surrounded by holographic displays showing the positions of Earth's hidden fleet and the latest intelligence on the Concordiat's movements. "They're coming," he announced to the assembled leaders. "Our long-range sensors have detected a large force entering the Oort cloud. We estimate we have less than 6 months before they reach Earth." The President of the United States, her face etched with the strain of years of secret preparation, nodded gravely. "Then it's time, Admiral. Initiate Operation Thunderbolt." Across the Earth, final preparations were made. Hidden bunkers were stocked, civilian defense forces were quietly mobilized, and the planet's most advanced weapons were brought online. In orbit and beyond, the crews of Earth's secret fleet ran final checks on their systems, their ships hovering in the darkness, waiting for the order to reveal themselves to an unsuspecting galaxy. As the first ships of the Concordiat invasion force entered the solar system, they encountered no resistance, no signs of advanced civilization. Their complacency would be their undoing. Earth waited, a sleeping giant about to awaken, ready to fight for its very existence and show the galaxy that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. The stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the cosmic order, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. The galaxy was about to learn that underestimating Earth was a mistake they would not soon forget. First contact. The Concordiat invasion fleet emerged from the depths of space, a vast armada of sleek, biomechanical ships that dwarfed anything humanity had ever constructed. At the helm of the flagship stood Supreme Commander Zexlor, a towering insectoid being with multifaceted eyes that gleamed with cold intelligence. "Prepare for orbital bombardment," Zexlor chittered to his subordinates. "These primitives will surrender before they even comprehend what's happening." As the alien fleet approached Mars, they remained oblivious to the web of stealth satellites tracking their every move. In the hidden lunar base, Admiral Hawthorne watched the holographic display with grim determination. "They're in position," he announced to the assembled world leaders. "It's time to spring our trap." With a series of commands, Earth's hidden defenses whirred to life. On the far side of the moon, massive hangars opened, disgorging swarms of fighter craft and capital ships that had been years in the making. Captain Maya Rodriguez sat in the command chair of the UES Defiant, her heart pounding as she gave the order. "All hands, battle stations, prepare to engage." The Earth fleet burst from hiding, catching the Concordiat completely off guard. Maya's voice rang out over the fleet-wide channel. "This is Captain Rodriguez of the United Earth Space Force. You are in violation of our sovereign territory. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." On the Concordiat flagship, alarms blared as sensors detected the sudden appearance of hundreds of human ships. Zexlor's mandibles clicked in shock and anger. Impossible. How could these vermin have hidden such a force from us? The space around Mars erupted into chaos as the two fleets clashed. Earth's ships, though smaller and less numerous, demonstrated a level of technology that the Concordiat had believed to be centuries beyond human capability. Gravity drives allowed Earth's vessels to perform maneuvers that defied conventional physics, while advanced energy shields absorbed punishment that would have vaporized lesser craft. But it was the human weapons that truly turned the tide. "Fire the Nova cannon," Maya ordered, her voice steady despite the maelstrom around them. A blinding lance of energy erupted from the Defiant's bow, slicing through the shields of a Concordiat dreadnought as if they were tissue paper. The alien ship split in two, secondary explosions rippling along its length as atmosphere vented into space. In the Lunar Command Center, Admiral Hawthorne watched the battle unfold with a mixture of pride and concern. "Deploy the Phantom squadrons," he ordered. "Let's show them what our stealth tech can do." Squadrons of Earth fighters, invisible to Concordiat sensors, materialized within the alien formation. Led by Commander Akira Tanaka, the Phantoms wreaked havoc, their pilots executing maneuvers that pushed the limits of their advanced inertial dampeners. Fox 3, Akira called out, launching a salvo of quantum-tipped missiles that phased through the enemy's shields before detonating. Another Concordiat ship fell, its crew never even seeing the attack coming. As the battle raged in space, Earth itself was not idle. Colonel Victor Reyes led his Special Space Operations team in a daring boarding action against one of the larger Concordiat vessels. Clad in powered exosuits that enhanced their strength and speed, the human soldiers fought their way through alien corridors, their weapons specifically designed to combat the Concordiat's advanced biotechnology. "Push forward," Reyes shouted, his armor absorbing a blast of plasma fire. "We need to secure their command center and database." Back on the Defiant, Maya coordinated the fleet's movements, her tactical training combining with the ship's AI to predict and counter the Concordiat's strategies. "Concentrate fire on their flagship," she ordered. "If we can take out their command and control, we can break their offensive." The tide of battle slowly turned in Earth's favor, but the cost was high. Human ships, despite their advanced technology, fell to the overwhelming numbers of the Concordiat fleet. The space around Mars became a graveyard of twisted metal and alien biomatter. In the midst of the chaos, Dr. Elara Vance worked feverishly in her lab aboard the science vessel UAS Discovery. Her team had been analyzing Concordiat communications throughout the battle, and they had made a breakthrough. "Admiral," Elara's voice crackled over the comm, "we've decrypted more of their language. They're calling for reinforcements, but more importantly, we found a weakness in their neural network." Hawthorne's eyes narrowed. "Explained, Doctor." "Their ships are linked in a hive mind structure," Elara said, her words tumbling out in excitement. "If we can disrupt the primary node, their flagship, we might be able to throw their entire fleet into disarray." The Admiral didn't hesitate. "Captain Rodriguez, you heard the Doctor. Whatever it takes, bring down that flagship." Maya nodded grimly. "Understood, sir." Defiant actual out, she turned to her crew. "All power to forward shields and weapons. We're going in." The Defiant plunged into the heart of the enemy formation, its advanced point defense systems a blur of activity as they swatted aside incoming fire. Maya's hands danced over her console, guiding the ship through a series of impossibly tight maneuvers. "Nova Cannon charged and ready," her weapons officer reported. Maya took a deep breath. Fire. The Defiant's primary weapon discharged, the blast catching Zexalo's flagship at its weakest point. The massive alien vessel shuddered, great rents appearing in its hull as secondary explosions chained through its systems. On the Concordiat bridge, Zexalo realized too late the grave mistake they had made in underestimating humanity. As his ship died around him, he sent out one final, desperate message to the Concordiat High Command. "The humans, they are not as they seem. Beware." With the destruction of the flagship, the effect on the remaining Concordiat forces was immediate and dramatic. Ships began to move erratically, their coordinated attacks falling into disarray. Some vessels simply shut down, their crews left without guidance from the Central Intelligence. "Press the advantage," Hawthorne ordered. "Drive them out of our system." The Earth fleet surged forward, mopping up the remaining resistance. Within hours, it was over. The remnants of the once mighty Concordiat Armada fled into deep space, leaving behind a stunned humanity that was only beginning to process the magnitude of what had just occurred. As the adrenaline of battle faded, Maya slumped in her chair, the weight of command settling heavily on her shoulders. "Damage report," she said softly. Her XO's voice was somber. "We've lost nearly a third of our fleet, Captain, but we've held. Earth is safe." In the Lunar Command Center, a cheer went up as the last enemy signatures vanished from the long-range scans. Admiral Hawthorne allowed himself a small smile before turning to address the world leaders. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, his voice carrying the gravity of the moment, "we've won this battle, but the war is far from over. The Concordiat will be back, and next time, they'll know what they're up against." The President of the United States nodded solemnly. "Then we'd better be ready. The time for secrecy is over. We need to tell our people the truth and prepare them for what's to come." As the news of the battle spread across Earth, a mixture of fear and pride swept through the population. Humanity had faced its first true extraterrestrial threat and emerged victorious, but at a terrible cost. In orbit around Mars, the Defiant hung in space, surrounded by the debris of friend and foe alike. Maya stood at the viewport, gazing out at the aftermath of the battle. "Captain," her communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission. It's not from Earth." Maya's eyes widened. "Put it through." A holographic image flickered to life on the bridge, revealing a being unlike any they had encountered before. Its voice, translated by the ship's computers, carried a note of both caution and respect. "People of Earth," the alien said, "you have done the impossible. The galaxy will soon know of your victory. But be warned, you have also made powerful enemies. If you wish to survive what is to come, you will need allies. We are prepared to offer our assistance if you are willing to listen." Maya exchanged a glance with her XO, both of them realizing that this was just the beginning of a new chapter in human history. The stars, once thought to be silent and empty, were now filled with both danger and opportunity. As the Defiant turned back towards Earth, carrying news of both their victory and this unexpected offer of alliance, humanity stood on the precipice of a new era. They had proven their worth in battle, but the true test of their species was yet to come. The galaxy was watching, and Earth would need all of its newfound strength, technology, and determination to secure its place among the stars. Galactic ripples. The news of Earth's triumph over the Concordiat spread through the galaxy like wildfire, transmitted through quantum entanglement networks and carried by faster-than-light couriers. In the grand amphitheater of the Galactic Council on the neutral world of Nexus Prime, representatives from 1,000 species gathered to discuss this unprecedented turn of events. Ambassador Zara Tilani, a lithe, blue-skinned diplomat from the Asari Republics, stood at the podium, her voice carrying across the chamber. "Esteemed colleagues, we can no longer ignore the human question. A species we had dismissed as primitive has not only repelled a Concordiat invasion, but has demonstrated technology rivaling our own. We must decide how to respond." The chamber erupted into a cacophony of alien voices, each species viewing the situation through the lens of their own interests and fears. In the midst of the chaos, a holographic projection flickered to life, showing Admiral Hawthorne addressing the United Nations back on Earth. "We stand at a crossroads," Hawthorne's voice boomed, translated into 100 alien languages. "Humanity has proven itself capable of defending its home, but we cannot remain isolated. We extend an open hand to those who would be our allies, and a warning to those who would threaten our existence. Earth is no longer a hidden backwater. We are here, we are strong, and we are ready to take our place among the stars." The speech sent shockwaves through the council. Some saw opportunity, others threat. The Volus Trade Consortium immediately began calculating the economic implications of human involvement in galactic commerce. The militaristic Turian hierarchy debated whether to approach Earth as a potential ally or a future rival. Meanwhile, on the fringes of known space, the remnants of the Concordiat fleet limped towards their home systems. Supreme Commander Zexlor, one of the few survivors of the flagship's destruction, faced a tribunal of his peers. "You have failed spectacularly," hissed Archmatriarch Casilta, her compound eyes glittering with rage. "Not only did you lose a significant portion of our fleet, but you have also alerted a potentially powerful species to our existence and intentions." Zexlor's mandibles clicked in agitation. The humans possessed technology far beyond our intelligence reports. They must have had outside help. "I recommend we regroup," gather our full strength and… Silence. Kazilta interrupted. Your warmongering has cost us dearly. The Council is already in uproar, and other powers are moving to align themselves with Earth. We must change our approach. Back on Earth, the aftermath of the battle brought both celebration and solemn reflection. Memorial services were held for the fallen, their sacrifices honored across the globe. But there was little time for rest, as humanity knew it needed to prepare for whatever came next. In a secret facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Ilara Vance worked tirelessly with her team, reverse engineering captured Concordiat technology. If we can crack their quantum communication systems, she explained to a group of government officials, we'll have real-time intel on their movements across the galaxy. Captain Maya Rodriguez, now hailed as a hero of the battle, found herself thrust into the role of diplomat. She stood before the newly formed Interstellar Relations Committee, her dress uniform adorned with medals. The alien transmission we received after the battle, Maya reported, came from a species known as the Arcturians. They've expressed interest in an alliance, citing mutual defense against Concordiat aggression. However, we should proceed with caution. We know very little about the political landscape we're entering. Colonel Victor Reyes, his face bearing new scars from the boarding action, headed up a task force to integrate alien technology into Earth's military doctrine. We held our own this time, he growled during a briefing, but we can't rely on the element of surprise again. We need to be faster, stronger, and smarter than anything out there. As Earth grappled with its new reality, the first alien diplomatic missions began to arrive. The sight of sleek, otherworldly ships descending through the atmosphere became a common occurrence, each arrival broadcast globally. Ambassador Lissara, the Arcturian who had initially contacted the Defiant, was among the first to set foot on Earth's soil. Her crystalline form shimmered in the sunlight as she addressed a crowd of journalists and onlookers. We come in the spirit of friendship and mutual benefit. Lissara's melodic voice resonated. The Arcturian collective has long stood against Concordiat expansion. In humanity, we see a potential ally with the strength and innovation to tip the balance of power in our favor. Not all arrivals were as welcoming. The Krex, a species of silicon-based lifeforms, sent a delegation that was decidedly cold in its approach. Their ambassador, a being that looked more like a sentient geode than a conventional lifeform, delivered a thinly veiled threat. The Krex Imperium acknowledges Earth's victory, the ambassador grated, its words translated by a hovering device. But know this, further expansion into space will be seen as an act of aggression. You would do well to remain within your current borders. Admiral Hawthorne and the newly formed Earth Defense Council worked around the clock, analyzing each interaction, weighing potential alliances and threats. The Admiral stood before a holographic map of known space, the territories of various alien powers highlighted in different colors. We're playing catch-up in a game that's been going on for millennia, Hawthorne mused. Every move we make will have consequences we can't fully predict. In orbit, the shipyards that had been hidden on the far side of the moon now operated openly, expanding rapidly to build up Earth's defensive capabilities. The Defiant, undergoing repairs and upgrades, was joined by a growing fleet of new vessels, each incorporating lessons learned from the battle and insights gained from alien technology. Captain Rodriguez warped the halls of the newest ship in the fleet, the UES Horizon. Larger and more advanced than the Defiant, it represented humanity's determination to meet the challenges ahead. She's a beauty, isn't she? Chief Engineer Ravi Patel beamed with pride. The gravitic shields are twice as strong as the previous generation, and the Nova cannon has been upgraded to fire 3 shots before needing to recharge. Maya nodded, her expression a mix of appreciation and concern. She'll need every advantage. Our victory has painted a target on our backs. Every power in the galaxy is watching to see what we'll do next. As if to underscore her point, alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. Maya rushed to the bridge, where her exile was already bringing systems online. Report, Maya barked, sliding into the captain's chair. Multiple unidentified ships just appeared at the edge of the solar system, her tactical officer responded. They're not matching any known configurations in our database. Maya's jaw set in determination. Hail, Admiral Hawthorne. Looks like we're about to make first contact. Again. As the horizon moved to intercept the unknown vessels, joined by other ships of Earth's growing fleet, humanity once again found itself at a crossroads. Their actions in the coming moments would shape not only their own future, but potentially the fate of the entire galaxy. The ripples of Earth's emergence onto the galactic stage were becoming waves, and soon they would crash upon shores both near and unimaginably distant. The next chapter of human history was about to be written among the stars. Unlikely alliances. The UES Horizon hung in space, its sleek form dwarfed by the massive alien vessels that appeared at the edge of the solar system. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her posture tense, but composed as she faced the largest view screen. "This is Captain Maya Rodriguez of the United Earth Space Force," she declared, her voice steady. "You have entered Earth-controlled space. State your intentions." There was a moment of tense silence before the screen flickered, revealing a being unlike any humanity had encountered before. It appeared to be a living constellation, a swirling mass of energy and light vaguely shaped like a humanoid. "Greetings, children of Earth," the being's voice resonated, somehow both in their ears and in their minds. "We are the Lumina Collective. We have journeyed far to meet the species that defied the Concordiat." Admiral Hawthorne's voice came through on a secure channel. "Captain, proceed with caution. Our long-range scans show their ships possess enough firepower to glass the entire solar system." Maya acknowledged the warning with a slight nod. "We welcome peaceful contact, Lumina. But I must ask again, what are your intentions?" The Lumina being's form shimmered. "We come to offer an alliance, Captain. The galaxy stands on the brink of a great conflict, and Earth may well be the fulcrum upon which the fate of all sentient life balances." Over the next few hours, as diplomats scrambled to arrange formal meetings, the Lumina shared troubling news. The Concordiat's defeat had not only embarrassed the insectoid empire, but had also emboldened other species to resist their expansionist policies. The galaxy was dividing into factions, with the threat of a multi-species war looming on the horizon. In a secure conference room deep within the Pentagon, Earth's leaders gathered to discuss this new development. The holographic form of Ambassador Lizara of the Arcturians joined them, her crystalline structure glittering even in projection. "The Lumina speak the truth," Lizara confirmed. "Already, the Krex Imperium has begun fortifying its borders, and the Volus Trade Federation is stockpiling resources. If war comes, it will engulf the entire galaxy." President Amelia Chen of the United Earth government leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "And where do the Arcturians stand in all this?" Lizara's form pulsed softly. "We seek to form a coalition of like-minded species, dedicated to maintaining peace and balance. With Earth's unexpected strength and the Lumina's ancient wisdom, we believe we can prevent this war before it begins." Admiral Hawthorne frowned. "Or we could be painting an even bigger target on our backs. Joining any alliance makes us a player in galactic politics, whether we're ready or not." Dr. Elara Vance, who had been quietly analyzing data on her tablet, spoke up. "There's another factor to consider. Our research into Concordiat technology has revealed something troubling. They possess a weapon of unimaginable power, a device capable of inducing artificial supernovas, if they choose to use it." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. President Chen stood, her decision made. "We cannot stand alone against such a threat. Open formal negotiations with the Lumina and the Arcturians. It's time for Earth to take its place on the galactic stage." In the following weeks, Earth became a hub of interstellar diplomacy. Ships from dozens of species entered the solar system, each seeking to gauge humanity's intentions and potential. The Moon, once a barren satellite, now bustled with activity as a neutral meeting ground was established in the Sea of Tranquility. Captain Rodriguez found herself assigned as Earth's military liaison to the growing alliance. She stood in the newly constructed dome of the Lunar Diplomatic Center, watching representatives from various species mingle. "Quite a sight, isn't it?" a gravelly voice said beside her. Maya turned to see the towering form of Gronak, a Krogan battlemaster who had arrived as part of a mercenary contingent offering their services. Maya nodded. "A few months ago, we thought we were alone in the universe. Now we're hosting a galactic summit." Gronak chuckled, a sound like grinding rocks. "You humans have stirred up the cosmic nest. Some admire your strength, others fear it. Me? I look forward to fighting alongside warriors who could bloody the Concordiat's nose." As alliances were forged in the diplomatic arena, Earth's military worked tirelessly to prepare for the conflicts to come. Colonel Victor Reyes oversaw the training of the first multi-species combat units, integrating the unique abilities of their new allies with human tactics. Again, Reyes barked, watching as a team composed of humans, Arcturians, and a hulking Krogan battled holographic Concordiat drones. "The enemy won't give you time to coordinate. You need to anticipate each other's moves." In orbit, the UES Horizon underwent a refit, its systems being upgraded with technology from their new allies. Chief Engineer Ravi Patel worked alongside Lumina technicians, marveling at the advanced energy systems they were installing. "This power core," Ravi murmured, "it's drawing energy directly from subspace. The applications are endless." But not all were pleased with Earth's rapid ascension to galactic importance. In a shadowy chamber on a distant world, representatives of species opposed to the growing alliance gathered in secret. "The humans are upsetting the balance," hissed a Thrachna diplomat, its tentacles writhing in agitation. "They must be contained before they gain too much influence." A hooded figure leaned forward, its features hidden in darkness. "Perhaps it's time we reminded these upstarts of their place in the cosmic order. Our agents are in position, awaiting only our signal." Back on Earth, as preparations for a formal treaty signing were underway, Dr. Elara Vance made a breakthrough in her research. She burst into Admiral Hawthorne's office, her eyes wide with excitement and fear. "Admiral, we've decoded more of the Concordiat's secure transmissions," she said breathlessly. "They're not just planning another attack, they're desperate. The supernova device, they're planning to use it on Earth's sun." Hawthorne's face paled. "Dear God, how long do we have?" Elara shook her head. "Days, maybe a week at most. We need to act now." The Admiral slammed his fist on the emergency alert button. Within moments, the leaders of Earth and their alien allies were gathered, the gravity of the situation clear on every face, whether human or exotic. President Chen's voice was steel as she addressed the assembly. "We've run out of time for diplomacy. Earth stands ready to fight, but we cannot face this threat alone. I ask you now, not as potential allies, but as fellow sentients who value life and freedom, will you stand with us?" There was a moment of tense silence before the Lumina representative floated forward, its light pulsing strongly. "The Lumina Collective stands with Earth. Your fight is our fight." One by one, the other species pledged their support. Even the Krex, who had been standoffish before, recognized the existential threat the Concordiat posed to all. As the impromptu war council began to form strategies, Captain Maya Rodriguez received urgent orders. She was to take command of a joint task force, leading a diverse fleet of ships from multiple species on a desperate mission to stop the Concordiat's supernova device before it could be deployed. Maya stood on the bridge of the horizon, now joined by vessels of designs she had never seen before. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenge ahead. "All ships, this is Captain Rodriguez. Our mission is clear, our purpose unified. No matter our differences, today we fight as one. For Earth, for our homes, for the future of all sentient life in this galaxy. Prepare for jump to light speed." As the fleet vanished into the swirling vortex of faster-than-light travel, the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. The unlikely alliance of species, forged in the crucible of impending doom, was about to face its ultimate test. The next few days would determine whether this cosmic union would usher in a new era of peace and cooperation, or whether the light of civilization would be snuffed out in the inferno of an artificial supernova. The Great Push. The joint task force emerged from lightspeed at the edge of the Concordiate-controlled space, a dazzling array of ships from a dozen different species. At the head of the fleet, the UES Horizon gleamed, its hull now adorned with shimmering luminous energy conduits and Arcturian crystal arrays. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood at the command center, surrounded by a diverse crew of humans and aliens. Her voice rang out clear and determined. All ships, battle formation Delta. Lumina vessels, engage your cloaking fields. Arcturian cruisers, prepare to deploy solar shields. This is what we've trained for. As the fleet moved deeper into enemy territory, they encountered the first wave of Concordiate defenses. Massive automated weapon platforms orbited a nearby gas giant, their sensors scanning for any sign of intrusion. Evasive maneuvers. Maya ordered as the platforms unleashed a barrage of energy beams. The human and alien ships moved in perfect synchronization, their movements a deadly dance among the stars. Gronak, the Krogan battlemaster, growled from his position at the tactical station, returning fire, Captain. Krogan disruptor torpedoes away. The torpedoes streaked across space, their warheads infused with technology from multiple species. They struck the Concordiate platforms, causing cascading failures that rippled through their systems. One by one, the massive structures went dark, clearing the path for the Alliance fleet. Back on Earth, Admiral Hawthorne and the War Council monitored the situation from the newly established Galactic Command Center. Holographic displays showed the progress of the fleet, while other screens displayed the frantic preparations being made to defend Earth itself. Dr. Ilara Vance rushed into the room, her face flushed with excitement. Admiral, we've done it. By combining Lumina phase shift technology with our own graviton particles, we've created a device that can destabilize the Concordiate supernova weapon. Hawthorne's eyes widened. Excellent work, Doctor. But can we get it to Captain Rodriguez in time? A shimmering figure materialized beside them, the holographic projection of a Lumina representative. We can. Our quantum entanglement communicators can transmit the schematics instantly. If the Horizon's engineering team works quickly, they can construct the device en route to the Concordiate homeworld. As the plans were relayed to the fleet, the battle intensified. The Concordiate, realizing the threat posed by the Alliance, threw everything they had at the incoming ships. Swarms of biomechanical fighters filled space, their movements guided by a hive mind that anticipated and reacted to every tactic. In her fighter, Commander Akira Tanaka led a mixed squadron of human, Arcturian, and Krogan pilots. "Nova Squadron, form up on me," she called out. "We're punching a hole for the capital ships." The fighters wove through the chaos, their weapons a mix of human ingenuity, Arcturian energy manipulation, and Krogan brute force. Explosions blossomed in the void as enemy craft fell to their combined might. On the Horizon's engineering deck, Chief Engineer Ravi Patel worked feverishly alongside his alien counterparts to construct the device that could save Earth. Sweat beaded on his brow as he calibrated the delicate instruments. Come on, he muttered. "We've only got one shot at this." As the Alliance fleet pushed deeper into Concordiate space, they encountered heavier resistance. Massive high ships, each the size of a small moon, moved to intercept them. Captain Rodriguez's voice remained steady as she issued orders, coordinating the diverse abilities of the fleet to counter each new threat. Lumina cruisers, target their propulsion systems with your phased energy beams. Krogan dreadnoughts, concentrate fire on their weapon nodes. Horizon, prepare the Nova cannon. The space around them lit up with weapons fire, a dazzling and terrifying display of destruction on a cosmic scale. Ships on both sides fell, their hulls breached and crews lost to the cold vacuum of space. In the midst of the chaos, a priority transmission came through from Earth. Admiral Hawthorne's hologram appeared on the Horizon's bridge. "Captain, our long-range sensors have detected movement in the Oort cloud. A Concordiat fleet is massing, preparing to make a push for Earth. You need to end this now, or there won't be a home to come back to." Maya's jaw set in grim determination. "Understood, Admiral. We're approaching the Concordiat throne world now." She turned to her crew. "This is it, people. Everything we've fought for comes down to the next few moments. Engineering status on the destabilizer." Ravi's voice came through, tinged with exhaustion but triumphant. "Device is ready, Captain, but we'll need to get close, real close, to their supernova weapon to deploy it." "Then that's what we'll do," Maya replied. She opened a channel to the entire fleet. "All ships, this is Captain Rodriguez. We've located the Concordiat's doomsday weapon. We're going to take it out, but we'll need every ounce of courage and skill you possess. This is for Earth, for all our worlds. Let's make history." The Alliance fleet surged forward, their formation tightening as they approached the Concordiat throne world. The planet was surrounded by layers of defenses, each more deadly than the last. But at the heart of it all, a massive space station loomed, the housing for the supernova device. As they closed in, the full might of the Concordiat was brought to bear. Weapons fire filled space, shields flickered and failed, and ships on both sides were torn apart. But the Alliance pressed on, driven by the knowledge that failure meant the end of everything they held dear. The Horizon, escorted by the remaining ships of the fleet, made a final push towards the station. Maya's voice rang out one last time. "All ships, give us everything you've got. We're going in." With a burst of speed, the Horizon dove towards the station, its hull scraping against the energy fields protecting the supernova device. On the engineering deck, Ravi initiated the destabilizer, praying to every deity he could think of that it would work. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, a pulse of energy rippled out from the Horizon, washing over the station. Alarms blared as the supernova device began to shake, its carefully calibrated systems thrown into chaos. "It's working," Ravi shouted. "The weapon's destabilizing, but..." His voice trailed off as new alerts flashed across his screen. "Captain, we need to get out of here now. The chain reaction is spreading faster than we anticipated." Maya didn't hesitate. "All ships, full retreat. Get clear of the blast radius." As the Alliance fleet scrambled to escape, the Concordiat station began to break apart. The supernova device, denied its intended target, turned its awesome power inward. In a blinding flash that outshone the system's sun, the station and a significant portion of the Concordiat fleet were consumed. The shockwave raced outward, catching the trailing edges of the retreating Alliance ships. The Horizon shuddered as the energy washed over it, systems failing and hull plates buckling. But it held together, a testament to the combined engineering prowess of multiple species. As the light faded and sensors came back online, the surviving ships of the Alliance found themselves in a drastically altered landscape. The Concordiat throne world, once the center of a vast empire, now orbited a newly formed debris field that had once been its mightiest weapons and ships. On the Horizon's bridge, battered but unbroken, Maya allowed herself a small smile. "Send word to Earth. The Concordiat supernova weapon has been destroyed. I repeat, the weapon has been destroyed. We've won." Cheers erupted across the ship, across the fleet, and soon across a dozen worlds as the news spread. The great push had succeeded, but at a tremendous cost. As the fleet began the long journey home, Maya knew that the galaxy would never be the same. The Concordiat had been broken, but new challenges and opportunities now lay ahead. Humanity and its allies had proven themselves on the galactic stage, and the true test of their unity was yet to come. The era of isolation was over. Earth's destiny now lay among the stars. A new era. The UEAS Horizon limped back into Earth's orbit, its hull scoured and systems barely functioning after the brutal battle against the Concordiat. As the ship docked with the orbital station, Captain Maya Rodriguez looked out at her home planet, a swirl of blue and green that now seemed both familiar and somehow different. "We did it," she murmured, more to herself than to her weary crew. "We actually did it." As Maya and her team disembarked, they were met with a hero's welcome. The station was packed with people from a dozen different species, all cheering and celebrating the Alliance's victory. Admiral Hawthorne stood at the forefront, his usually stern face breaking into a rare smile. "Welcome home, Captain," he said, shaking Maya's hand firmly. "You and your crew have written a new chapter in galactic history." The next few weeks were a whirlwind of debriefings, ceremonies, and diplomatic meetings. The fall of the Concordiat had left a power vacuum in the galaxy, and every species was scrambling to adapt to the new reality. In the newly christened Galactic Council chamber, built in the heart of New Geneva, Earth's leaders gathered with representatives from across the known universe. President Amelia Chen stood at the podium, her voice carrying to billions across multiple worlds. "Today, we stand at the dawn of a new era," she began. "The threat of the Concordiat has been vanquished, but our work is far from over. We fought together, bled together, and now we must build together. Earth extends an invitation to all peaceful species to join us in creating a more stable and prosperous galaxy for all." The chamber erupted in applause, but not everyone was equally enthusiastic. The Crex ambassador, its crystalline form glittering under the lights, spoke next. "While we acknowledge the humans' role in defeating the Concordiat, we must not forget that they are still newcomers to the galactic stage. The Crex Imperium will be watching closely to ensure that Earth does not simply replace one tyranny with another." Tensions in the room rose, but Ambassador Lysara of the Arcturians quickly intervened. "Friends, let us not forget the spirit of cooperation that brought us this victory. Earth has proven itself a valuable ally, and we would do well to embrace their fresh perspective." As the political debates raged on, the people of Earth were coming to terms with their new reality. The veil of secrecy had been lifted, and humanity was now fully aware of its place in a vast, complex universe. Dr. Ilara Vance found herself at the forefront of a new scientific renaissance. The exchange of knowledge with alien species had accelerated human understanding in fields ranging from physics to medicine. In her lab, now staffed by a diverse team of researchers from across the galaxy, she pored over data that promised to revolutionize humanity's understanding of the universe. "The luminous grasp of quantum mechanics is centuries ahead of ours," she explained to a group of wide-eyed students. "But our unique approach to problem-solving has already led to breakthroughs they never considered. Together, we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible." Meanwhile, Colonel Victor Reyes oversaw the integration of Earth's military forces into a new galactic defense initiative. On a training field outside New Geneva, human soldiers worked alongside Krogan berserkers, Arcturian energy manipulators, and even a contingent of reformed Concordiat warriors who had defected during the final battle. "The threats we face are evolving," Reyes barked at his multi-species squad, "so we must evolve faster. Each of you brings unique strengths to this unit. Together, you are the first line of defense against whatever the universe throws at us next." In orbit, the shipyards that had once built Earth's secret fleet now operated openly, constructing a new generation of vessels designed for both exploration and defense. Chief Engineer Ravi Patel stood in the observation deck of the newest ship, the UES Unity, marveling at how far they'd come. "She's a beauty, isn't she?" he said to Captain Rodriguez, who had joined him for the final inspection. Lumina phase shift drives, Arcturian crystal arrays, Krogan battle plating, and good old-fashioned human ingenuity. She's a testament to what we can achieve together. Maya nodded, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "And she'll be the first of many. The Unity is more than just a ship, she's a symbol of our new place in the galaxy." As the months passed, Earth found itself at the center of a rapidly changing galactic landscape. Trade routes that had been stable for millennia were redrawn. Cultural exchanges led to a flowering of art, music, and literature that blended influences from 100 worlds. And in universities across the planet, the first classes of human students prepared to embark on exchange programs to alien worlds, while Earth's institutions opened their doors to curious beings from across the stars. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Reports began to trickle in of splinter groups from the former Concordiat, vowing revenge against the alliance that had shattered their empire. Pirates and opportunists took advantage of the shifting power dynamics to carve out new territories in the lawless regions of space. And on some human colonies, tensions arose between those who embraced the new galactic community and those who feared the loss of human identity. In response to these challenges, the Galactic Council established a rapid response force, with the UES Unity as its flagship. Captain Maya Rodriguez found herself once again on the bridge of a starship, ready to face whatever the universe had in store. "Captain, we're picking up a distress signal from a colony in the Omega sector," her communications officer reported. "It looks like they're under attack by unknown forces." Maya straightened in her chair, a familiar mix of anticipation and resolve filling her. "Alert the crew and our allied ships. Plot a course for the Omega sector, maximum speed." As the Unity prepared to jump to light speed, Maya reflected on how much had changed, and yet how some things remained the same. Humanity had found its place among the stars, but the journey was far from over. There would be new challenges, new discoveries, and new alliances to forge. While we acknowledge the humans' role in defeating the Concordiat, we must not forget that they are still newcomers to the galactic stage. The Krex Imperium will be watching closely to ensure that Earth does not simply replace one tyranny with another. Tensions in the room rose, but Ambassador Lysara of the Arcturians quickly intervened. "Friends, let us not forget the spirit of cooperation that brought us this victory. Earth has proven itself a valuable ally, and we would do well to embrace their fresh perspective." As the political debates raged on, the people of Earth were coming to terms with their new reality. The veil of secrecy had been lifted, and humanity was now fully aware of its place in a vast, complex universe. Dr. Ilara Vance found herself at the forefront of a new scientific renaissance. The exchange of knowledge with alien species had accelerated human understanding in fields ranging from physics to medicine. In her lab, now staffed by a diverse team of researchers from across the galaxy, she pored over data that promised to revolutionize humanity's understanding of the universe. "The luminous grasp of quantum mechanics is centuries ahead of ours," she explained to a group of wide-eyed students. "But our unique approach to problem-solving has already led to breakthroughs they never considered. Together, we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible." Meanwhile, Colonel Victor Reyes oversaw the integration of Earth's military forces into a new galactic defense initiative. On a training field outside New Geneva, human soldiers worked alongside Krogan berserkers, Arcturian energy manipulators, and even a contingent of reformed Concordiat warriors who had defected during the final battle. "The threats we face are evolving," Reyes barked at his multi-species squad, "so we must evolve faster. Each of you brings unique strengths to this unit. Together, you are the first line of defense against whatever the universe throws at us next." In orbit, the shipyards that had once built Earth's secret fleet now operated openly, constructing a new generation of vessels designed for both exploration and defense. Chief Engineer Ravi Patel stood in the observation deck of the newest ship, the UES Unity, marveling at how far they'd come. "She's a beauty, isn't she?" he said to Captain Rodriguez, who had joined him for the final inspection. "Lumina phase shift drives, Arcturian crystal arrays, Krogan battle plating, and good old-fashioned human ingenuity. She's a testament to what we can achieve together." Maya nodded, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "And she'll be the first of many. The Unity is more than just a ship, she's a symbol of our new place in the galaxy." As the months passed, Earth found itself at the center of a rapidly changing galactic landscape. Trade routes that had been stable for millennia were redrawn. Cultural exchanges led to a flowering of art, music, and literature that blended influences from 100 worlds. And in universities across the planet, the first classes of human students prepared to embark on exchange programs to alien worlds, while Earth's institutions opened their doors to curious beings from across the stars. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Reports began to trickle in of splinter groups from the former Concordiat, vowing revenge against the alliance that had shattered their empire. Pirates and opportunists took advantage of the shifting power dynamics to carve out new territories in the lawless regions of space. And on some human colonies, tensions arose between those who embraced the new galactic community and those who feared the loss of human identity. In response to these challenges, the Galactic Council established a rapid response force, with the UES Unity as its flagship. Captain Maya Rodriguez found herself once again on the bridge of a starship, ready to face whatever the universe had in store. "Captain, we're picking up a distress signal from a colony in the Omega sector," her communications officer reported. "It looks like they're under attack by unknown forces." Maya straightened in her chair, a familiar mix of anticipation and resolve filling her. "Alert the crew and our allied ships. Plot a course for the Omega sector, maximum speed." As the Unity prepared to jump to light speed, Maya reflected on how much had changed, and yet how some things remained the same. Humanity had found its place among the stars, but the journey was far from over. There would be new challenges, new discoveries, and new alliances to forge. The stars streaked by as the Unity leaped into action, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of not just Earth, but of a united galaxy. Whatever lay ahead, they would face it together. In the vast expanse of space, a new chapter of history was being written. Humanity, once alone and isolated, now stood as a bridge between ancient cosmic powers and young, ambitious species. The path forward was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. But one thing was clear: the era of Earth's isolation was over. The future of humanity now lay among the stars, intertwined with the fates of 1,000 alien races. And as Captain Rodriguez and her diverse crew set out to face that future, they carried with them the indomitable spirit that had brought them this far, the spirit of unity, courage, and an unquenchable thirst for discovery. The new era had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.